Let's talk about AJR. AJR is one of the most hated bands of the 2010s of the last couple years. I mean, these guys have gotten death threats from music critics around the world, and a lot of people just unite in their love of their hatred for AJR. It just makes a lot of people happy to hate on these guys. And you know what? From the minute I heard their What Everyone's Thinking EP, which was the EP that preceded The Click, I really liked them. I thought they had a lot of personality. I thought their lyrics were very unique and just stood out from the rest of pop music. I thought their music was very unique, and I will stand by that. I think they're extremely creative and just have a ton of personality, and overall are a very likable group of guys and a likable band, even if they have some trash music, a few really trash songs. I still think they're pretty good, and you know what? I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm gonna rank their albums. This is it. This is the AJR Albums Ranked. Here we go. Yeah, in case you didn't know, AJR actually has 3 albums. The 4th one is coming out literally next month. I'm excited for that. I'm sure I'll review it when it comes out because I'm a fan. I like AJR. But this first album, Living Room, was really AJR kind of throwing different things at the ceiling and seeing what would stick. And not a lot stuck, unfortunately. In fact, very little stuck if you want to look at the influence this album had on their other albums, because there is no influence this had on the other albums. None of the songs from this album would fit on The Click or Neo Theater. Besides Overture, because they actually do that on The Click, but that's the only one. That the actual music really doesn't sound anything like their other 2 albums. And it really just, some of it works and some of it really doesn't. It's got some bad songs. I'm Ready is a really bad song. Thirsty Thursday is an unacceptable song. That is a garbage song. Except for as a joke. It's a pretty good song as like a meme / joke song. I put it in the same category as WAP or WAP or however you say it, WAP. I'd put it in the same category. It's just like a bad song that can be good, like, ironically. But it's not a very good album. AJR's second best album is Neo Theater, and to be honest, Neo Theater has some really great songs on it. I really like the first song. I really love Finale. That closer is awesome. It's really fun to like listen to in the car and like sing at the top of your lungs with the windows down. It's one of those songs. It's a good song. But the album has some bad songs. It's got Beats by Dre, which is one of the most confusing songs lyrically and morally. I really don't know what is going on. It really is confusing what the message of the song is, and I'll get more into that with the next album I talk about. They can say some weird stuff. Also, Turning Up Part 2 is the most boring song AJR has ever made. I mean, they have a kind of boring song on Living Room called Growing Old on Bleecker Street, but that's better than Turning Out Part 2. That's a bad song. Anyway, I actually do like a lot of the songs on this album. I even like The Entertainments here, which I originally didn't like. I even like Wow, I'm Not Crazy. This is an album that just grew on me a lot the more I listened to it. And I'm going to link all of these. I've reviewed all of these albums. I linked the one for this. I linked, blah. I'm linking all of the album reviews because I've reviewed all of them in the description for the video. Go check it out to hear my full thoughts on this album. But it is actually a really good album, and I do really like it. The Click is a really good album, but it's got some bad songs on it, like I said. I'm not even going to include... Well, okay, let me just say this. I feel like The Click is a less grown-up album. It feels more immature. It feels more childish than Neo Theater. Neo Theater is an album that's full of introspection and specifically millennial angst. A lot of questions millennials are asking, really not explicitly asking, but AJR is willing to explicitly ask these questions that kind of just linger in people's minds that people don't really make music about, but AJR likes to talk about things that other people aren't talking about. And that's what they did on Neo Theater. This feels more childish. This feels like, and a lot of people have said this analogy of like a homeschooler's perspective of the world, a homeschooler like who doesn't know anything about parties, who doesn't know anything about the real world, about having friends, and doesn't know anything about weed. It's like a homeschooler's experience of the world, basically. And I am a homeschooler, and I've been homeschooled for most of my life. I went to a private school when I got to middle school, but I was homeschooled 100% homeschooled until that point. And you know, I'm still only going to school once a week my whole life, even in high school. I just like this. I just resonate with this album. I mean, the lyrics, the music is super fun and quirky, and more than anything else, the Click is just bursting with personality, and so is Neo Theater, but the Click is just jam-packed with personality. It's a lot of fun. It's the third album I ever reviewed on the channel, literally the third album I reviewed, probably my third video. I'll link it in the description. You can hear my full thoughts there. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sure my thoughts have changed from that video, but I'm going to stand by it that that is the best AJR album, even though it's like, I could literally flip a coin, or tomorrow I could say that I like Neo Theater better. It's really that close between Neo Theater and the Click. It's extremely difficult between those two. But Living Room is definitely the worst. I'll stand by that. Until, of course, OK Orchestra, maybe that's the worst. We'll see. There we go. I just wanted to hit you guys with a quick little video, because, you know what? AJR gets too much hate. They're not bad. They're really not bad. I'm looking forward to OK Orchestra. I've seen these guys live, and I have to say, it's in the top 5 best concerts. I've been to a couple concerts. Like, I've been to more than 5. And this is definitely in the top 5, because these guys, like, put on a show. They were taking notes from 21 Pilots and Bastille, and they said, you know what, the way concerts are done, you can't just do the music. You have to make it a performance. You have to do skits in between the songs and make the songs like skits as well, and you have to do crazy visual effects and crazy practical effects and crazy props, and you have to get the audience to feel involved. You have to get the fans to feel involved during the show, and they did all of that fantastically, and I have so much respect for them as performers. They really are awesome. Their music videos can be kind of cringy, but honestly live they're pretty fantastic. I highly recommend you check them out. They're not bad. They're not bad. Living Room, they were kind of bad, but they're not bad now. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.